Let's face it, parenting is hard, and mistakes are inevitable, but some slip-ups have a deeper impact than others, so the experts are weighing in on which parenting mistakes are the most important to avoid. Skipping the discipline. It's crucial to make the time for discipline, even when it's the last thing you want to do. Parent-teen relationship coach Fern Weiss explains what happens when parents skip it completely, saying, "This results in children who are running the show, and who are unintentionally given the kind of control they are not emotionally equipped to handle. They don't hear no and learn that if they push back hard enough, they will get what they want." Being controlling. Barbara E. Harvey, Executive Director of Parents, Teachers, and Advocates, Inc., says that when parents are controlling, in the short term, children may submit and it is easier for the parent. However, the child is not learning to make decisions for themselves, nor are they building a sense of learning to trust. Arisha Schaefer, former therapist and parenting coach, agreed, saying, "The first mistake is believing you have control over your kids. If you've ever tried to force kids to hurry, to eat their breakfast, or fall asleep, you're familiar with this fact. Yet some parents choose to try to fight it. When you fight it, you get frustrated parents and out-of-control behavior from kids." Negative labels. One of the worst things you can do is to give your child a negative label. Jill Whitney, licensed marriage and family therapist, says, "What parents say becomes their child's internal template, the voice they hear inside their head, often for their whole lives." Instead of making a negative comment about them as a person, Whitney suggests focus on the behavior that's the problem, like, "It's time to stop playing and get your homework done." This is far more specific. The child knows what he can do to correct the situation. This approach indicates that the problem is related to a specific situation, not something permanent about your child. Avoiding the talk.
What's sexual intercourse?
While it may be uncomfortable, it's better to face this one head-on. Whitney says, when kids ask, "How did the baby get in there?" parents may panic and avoid the question. When this happens, Whitney says, your child learns that she can't turn to you when she has those sorts of questions. Even worse, she may come to feel that there's something wrong with her for even asking. That creates shame. That can last her whole life. Instead, Whitney recommends answering any questions as they come up, in an age-appropriate way, of course. Not listening. Weiss says it's essential to listen to your child with an open mind. Creating a trusting relationship begins with truly listening to your child. When parents only listen to respond, to fix, critique, teach, and solve, their child knows that he is not truly being heard and will shut down. I ask parents to remember that the kind of listening they look for in a friend is just what their children need from them. Punishment as discipline. Disciplining doesn't necessarily mean punishing. Harvey says, in this country, we have mistakenly equated punishment with discipline. As a result, parents are more focused on looking for and punishing misbehavior rather than giving children the tools they need to develop self-control. The focus of discipline should be on helping them regulate their own behavior. Harvey added, self-control is about learning to recognize the rules and choosing to obey them because it is the right thing to do. Show, don't tell. Kids are very perceptive, and they'll know if you're walking your talk or not. Harvey says, according to brain development experts, children will retain 85% of what they observe their parents doing and only 15% of what they say as they enter adulthood. This holds true even for very young children. Harvey says, children are keen observers and spend most of their time not only watching, but also figuring out what to do and not to do based on what they see. In the long term, they may stumble and have a hard time if what they observed is either detrimental or extremely different than most folks' reality. Weiss' #1 piece of advice is, remember what kind of person you want your child to be 15 years from now. Then ask yourself if what you are about to do or say is contributing to that vision. Give your child what he needs, not what feels easier or makes you feel better. Always keep the vision in mind. Thanks for watching. Click the list icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out this other cool stuff we know you'll love too.